two big cases. The murder trial of Renisha McBride after an emotional day on the stand for Theodore Wafer. Now the prosecution fires back.
But first, courtroom shocker as Jodi Arias will defend herself at her death penalty trial coming up.
A shocker indeed, you heard right. Convicted murderer Jodi Arias will be allowed to represent herself. Joey, a lot of people talking about this on Facebook, on Twitter. This could turn into a circus.
You think? And Susan, her defense attorneys want nothing to do with the retrial or with Jodi herself for that matter. But guess what? The judge will not allow them to...
Yeah, they have to stay on board, be in court to advise Jodi, but she is taking the lead. You're watching HLN on the Case. I'm Susan Hendricks.
I'm Joey Jackson.
And we begin this hour with some memorable moments from Jodi Arias' murder trial, round one. Here it is.
Did you have the knife in your hand when you shot her?
No, I did not.
So, that means that if you didn't have the knife in your hand, you needed to go get it from somewhere, right?
I guess. I don't know.
No, there's no guessing here now. And he's just threatened your life. You turn your back on the threat?
Yeah, I'm trying to get away.
You don't have the knife, right?
Up to that point, I did.
Yes or no, do you have the knife at that point?
No. Right at that point where my memory begins to end, I didn't have the knife at any point that I remember.
So if you dropped the knife, where did you drop it from if not your hand?
Presumably my hand, I just don't remember gripping it.
Did I ask you whether or not you had gripped it?
Ha! That's what I took it as. I was just living in this fog.
It was really back and forth in court between the two. So this means Jodi Arias and Juan Martinez will square off in the battle for her life next month. Jen Wood is a reporter for the Trial Diary. She was in court yesterday. She's joining us now from Phoenix. Jen, did Jodi have a reaction when her lead defense attorney petitioned the court again to be excused from defending her? What was her reaction?
She really didn't have much of a reaction to that. Jodi went in there very confident and very attorney-like. She was ready to represent herself, and she wasn't letting what Kirk Nurmi was saying shake her at all. She was talking directly to the judge, and she had a lot of confidence.
And what sense did you get from being in that courtroom, just in terms of the emotion that was there, and just with regard to the attorneys? You know, Susan and I were talking, and certainly Kurt Nurmi and Jennifer Wilmot, they have wanted nothing to do with her or this trial. What was the reaction amongst them as well as the courtroom watchers?
Oh, my back.
When we first arrived into the courtroom and Jodi had come in, she instantly went into a very active conversation with Jennifer Wilmot. And you could tell there was something definitely going on. There was a lot of paperwork being passed around and shuffled, and we were all sitting there wondering, what's going on here? The last time we were at a hearing, Jodi had said she didn't have time to represent herself. So all of a sudden, we were getting a little bit of a feeling that maybe she was going to do this again. And sure enough, the judge asked her point blank, Jodi, are you ready to voluntarily represent yourself? And she said yes.
Wow. Jen, were there any family members of Travis Alexander in that courtroom, or was it a closed court session? Were they allowed in?
It was an open hearing, but the only people that were really there were 3 reporters and a press office person. The court PIO was there, and there really wasn't anybody else in attendance. Nobody for Jodi's family, nobody for the Alexander's family, but I'm sure they're notified of what's going on, you know, as soon as the hearing's over.
Sure, I'm sure they are, Jen. I think the general feeling, though, is whether or not, you know, she's in over her head again. You might remember, Jen, that initially she tried to do this, and then she said, wait a minute, Judge, you know what? I need the advice. I need the counsel. I need the representation. So certainly, Jen, what had happened here, I think you could confirm this, is that these attorneys will stay on as advisors, but she will be the main person leading her own defense, correct?
Correct. They will remain as advisory counsel, but the judge told Jodi, you're on your own, and you need to realize this. And Jodi Arias responded, yes, I understand this. I'm ready to do this. Last time she did try to represent herself, she was trying to get in evidence. And when that didn't work and go her way, she ended up telling the judge she wanted representation from an attorney again.
Yeah, Jen,
so we're left to wonder.
Go ahead.
Yes, so we're left to wonder if she's trying to get something in once again, and will end up asking the judge for Kirk Nurmi to start representing her again. She has that option.
It's amazing what's going on in that courtroom, Joey. Obviously, she thinks she can save her life more so than her attorneys, and her attorneys are saying, okay, we're not going to take the steering wheel here. It's been said the more that the jury gets to know someone, the less likely they are to maybe hand down the death penalty. Do you think that's where she's going here, to try to talk to the jury?
You know what, Susan? But that's a risky proposition, because that presumes that they like you when they get to know you. And certainly I understand the whole humanizing. You want to present yourself in front of the jury and have them get you and bond with you. But she may very well annoy them, because this is about Travis Alexander. It is not about you, Jodi Arias. And if the jury gets the sense that she's making it about her, then it becomes a major problem, Susan.
Well said. All right, Jen, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us into that courtroom. Jodi Arias, though, wasn't the only accused killer in court yesterday. Michael Dunn had a pretrial hearing as well. He is the man accused of killing 17-year-old Jordan Davis in a dispute over loud music in Florida. He was convicted in February of 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder. The jury was deadlocked on the murder charge, so the judge declared a mistrial. Dunn claimed self-defense in that case. His second trial on that murder charge is scheduled to start next month, close to the time of Jodi Arias' retrial.
And up next, we are taking a closer look, much closer, at Jodi Arias' rocky relationship with her defense attorneys and what they have done to get off that case. Unsuccessfully, however. And HLN On the Case has all of this and many more details from her first trial on our Facebook page at HLN On the Case. Check out the Jodi Arias slideshow to get caught up with all the evidence in that trial.